Alright, so today we had another weekly Warriors Den live stream, and this week they showed off the upcoming Centurion changes live and also showed us what's to come for Gladiator and Warlord through a PowerPoint. Since a lot of people like just seeing the changes without everything else from the stream, this video is just going to show off the updates. I'll talk about everything else in a video I'll post later on. What I will say now though is that these changes are definitely interesting. These aren't massive changes. These heroes are still going to be the heroes we know, but better. Also keep in mind that these showcases don't show off everything, so we'll have to wait for the patch notes to come out for that. Centurion's changes were all things we sort of knew were going to happen or had an idea of what was going to happen, and I'm interested to see how he'll work in a team fight or while ganking someone, but I won't go into that now. All the changes you'll see in the showcase will be playable next week on August 29th and go on for 2 weeks until September 12th in-game through the testing grounds. It doesn't matter which platform you play on, you can play on any platform. So if you're excited for these changes, be sure to hop on next week to try them out. Anyways, I'll stop talking now and let the showcase roll.
Bring forth, what are you trying to address with this hero specifically with these changes in the testing grounds?
Perfect. So what do we know about Centurion? Like, it's super fun to play as a Centurion, right? You get you get to punch the crap out of people.
Yep.
You get to slice. You get your Eagle's Talon.
You got the good life emote, right? That's,
like,
all that's missing is the grapes. That's all you're missing, really.
It's sad, but where's my ho ho ho? That's what I want to know, right? Like, but it's super fun to play as a Centurion. Where it kind of breaks down a little bit as a Centurion is you have a very difficult time opening up players who are very good at defending. So you're kind of like opener and sustaining is very difficult to deal with. We want to solve that problem and make them a bit more viable and therefore also a bit more fun to play in that respect. On the other side of the your opponent, it can be very frustrating that you end up like cutscened quite often, right? Either from a parry to wall splat to fully charged heavy to fully charged jab to Eagle's Talon, or from Pugio to fully charged heavy to fully charged jab to Eagle's Talon. You spend a lot of time without opportunities to counterplay or play at all, really. So that's what we're going to try to do. A little bit of openers sustainability for the Centurion to make it a little more fun to play, and a little more fun to the opponent and a little less strong at like long ganks.
Sweet.
That's the overall pitch. So let's kind of break down piece by piece the things that we've adjusted to try to make some of these things happen. First, we'll start with a super easy to show thing, zone attack. Zone attack, exactly. Feintable second hit and feintable third hit, right? Obvious, a good change. I was playing someone yesterday who hit me with a first hit, and I was like, cool, parry the third hit, killed him, and I'm like, that sucks for you a little bit. So this will be some opportunity for you to not be screwed if you're.
So yeah, as soon as you do launch it or like release the zone here at this point, you can either cancel at the second or the first or whatever.
The second or the third.
Or the third. Okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Sweet.
What else did we change? Charged heavies. So these used to be soft feintable to guard break and feintable. Yes, great. We still have that, but now we also allow the ability to feint during the unblockable portion of these. There you go, as you saw there. A little bit of fire, and then you can feint, and you can feint directly into guard break as well, in both times.
Nice.
So that's super cool. We saw with Shigoki, for example, like, yes, you want to be able to feint these because otherwise it's a free parry. It worked with Shigoki. These are now threatening moves for it, so we're trying to do the same thing for Centurion. What do we want to show next? I'm going to ask Manny, who's got no microphone.
Light effects.
Light effects? Okay. All right, let's show the lights next. So opener is about the same, but the second and the third hits are now both 500 MS. We hope this means that Centurion can actually go through the chain. Third big piece that we want to take a look at is the jab. This is kind of like the difficult part of the puzzle for Centurion. Right now, because it's guaranteed on live, that's where the cutscene aspect comes, the uninteractive part of it comes. So what we want to do here is we make the charged heavy no longer guaranteeing any kind of jab. However, the benefit we're giving back is that the jab can be feinted. So what does this mean, right? The opponent can actually dodge. Oh, I guess I should pick up the controller here. Okay, here we go. All right, dodging the jab.
Okay.
Right? But we can see that, like, yep, he was a bit slow on the feint to guard break there, but definitely can catch the dodgers. If you want to try one more time. All right. Doing it live is always fun.
Yeah, of course.
Perfect. Anyway, you can get wrecked that way. So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
And what's interesting is now after every heavy, the Centurion has the opportunity to get the jab, which gives it free light, the knockdown, which gives the Eagle's Talon, or the feint guard break, which can set up anything else, really.
So just to recap, basically what you're saying is that the basically the cutscene is still possible.
Yes.
But if it is possible, it's your fault.
Yes, it's no longer a cutscene. It's now a series of things that can happen with options to counterplay in between.
So, like, if you're dropping your controller like you did before, made a sandwich, and then came back to the game, that's no longer going to happen because right now you actually have the chance to...
You could have dodged in between.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly.
You just dodge.
Just dodge.
Just dodge.
Just dodge.
Just dodge.
Although it's going to be a little more difficult to do that because the Centurion has a few more areas from which the Centurion can hit this thing. Mm-hmm. We've added it between the lights. As you can see here, punch, light, punch, light, or punch guarantees light. And you can, of course, go to heavy if you want as well. So you can see Manu is having a really good time beating the crap out of me.
Yeah. He's not showing it, but you can tell that he's enjoying it.
Yeah, he's not super expressive, but that little bit of a smile that you see there, that's him, like, ultra satisfied. Yeah.
Really satisfied.
Yeah, we see that.
Awesome. Anything else that you guys wanted to go over? I mean, these guys will, again, want to specify, this is not coming to the game. All the changes that you went over, these are going to the testing grounds, but not the live game. This is only part of the testing grounds front that will be accessible. And that's important to note because once the testing phase is over, so from August 29th to September 12th, the September 12th may change. But at that point, we get feedback on our side, evaluate that feedback, and then see if we need to make any tweaks or if these changes are approved globally from your standpoint as a player. So super important for that to be reiterated. He's going to hear it.
Perfect. Okay, so Gladiator and Warlord, we'll just go through the stuff here quickly. Gladiator, stance change, reflex guard is now 1100 ms. This is the regular timing of all assassins in the game, except for Gladiator now. So Gladiator gets it too. Should help in duel a little bit, but should be really good for group fights where...
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Exactly. Skewer. This is your heavy unblockable that you have the option of. We added a bit of forward movement during the strike, and the feint, the purpose of this being that if you feint guard break, you'll be close enough to actually catch.
So better tracking?
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
A little bit. This one here, chain light attacks. Second, third, and fourth chained top light attack will now be 433 ms. It used to be 600 ms. And second, third, and fourth chained side light attacks are now 466 ms. They were also 600. So we think that'll be really exciting because, like, the lights in the chain were really dead moves. No one was throwing these 600 ms attacks. We were joking earlier that, like, neither of us before we got into this had seen a fourth Gladiator light since year one.
So basically, you just want to see it. That's the main reason.
Yeah, so these are no longer dead moves. These are actually, like, usable moves now.
Cool.
So that's pretty cool. So hopefully we'll see Gladiators play with a bit more variety.
Nice.
And then finally...
How do you pronounce this? Fushina?
Are you going to put me on the spot for this one? I thought you were going to try.
Okay, let me try.
Manu's going to try?
Manu, what was that, Manu? Fushina ictus or Fuskina ictus?
Which perfectly translates to toe stab, I'm sure.
Yeah, there we go.
Is now 600 ms when the target's out of stamina. It used to be 800 because we were being too nice to the opponent who's out of stamina, but we want the Gladiator to have, as you see here all through the way of the changes, the ability to keep pressure up, and that's what this is about.
And stab some more toes.
Stab all the toes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So cool. Awesome.
Perfect.
So let's lead into the Warlord, which is Big Mike's main, so he might be happy with this. Here we go.
Got to do my best for Big Mike.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, Warlord. Light attack. The big one is that the light attacks are now enhanced. This means that they're not stopped on block, so you can continue your pressure. You throw the light, they block it, you can now throw a heavy finisher or light finisher. Same with your light finisher. Afterwards, you don't get massively disadvantaged frame-wise. You should be about even. So you can continue pressure if you like, or throw a headbutt after that, or whatever, right?
So more globally, when you talk about these changes, are they addressing a specific like global problem, or is it more little things that you want to tweak within that hero?
I think so. I mean, like in Warlord's case, it's because like once you do one thing, you have to stop, right? Like you can't really throw like light followed by second light or heavy followed by second light. Like it's not going to happen. So here we've tried to make it a little more viable to do that. Same with the range, light attack range, like giving him a little more ability to hit someone who's a few feet away lets him now go from like my effective range is not near 0. So that should be pretty helpful. The damage changes are just a little bit to like help out because he was not performing quite the way we wanted when he was getting the hits. So we think that'll be better. Top light finisher, yeah, it's a little nerf, but because we can throw it a bit more, we think it won't be so bad, but we do still want it to cause a medium hit reaction so you can ledge people when you do hit them with it. So
sweet.
Should be pretty good, I think. Heavy attack finishers, we've also tried to help out Warlord in that second attack. Same with the lights. Now here in the heavies, we're giving uninterruptible stance to start a little bit earlier, 300 ms, which should help in group fight scenarios where, yes, you hit somebody with either guard break heavy or whatever, parry light, and now you want to throw something else across the group fights, you're a little more safe to do that.
Nice. Awesome.
So that's what we're hoping. And then finally, full block stance, the stab follow-up. Missed on a number of heroes because their range was a bit too long, and we want this to actually hit now.
Nice.
So you get your actual punish.
Sweet. That's awesome. And so these are all of the changes that are going to be live in the testing grounds as of August 29th.
Exactly. You'll see the patch notes. There's a couple of micro things.
Yeah.
But those are the highlights for the 3 heroes. And we should see all that stuff in the testing grounds starting August 29th.